Hello, and this is probably the easiest way you can install Hyprland onto a Arch Linux system if you are not willing to install any dot files. So you just want a raw Hyprland install. This is probably the fastest way to do it. First of all, get a bootable USB. We will be needing that, and for making a bootable USB, first we need the ISO. And for an Arch ISO, you can literally just go to Arch Linux, just go to the first website that pops up, and then go to the download section right here. And in here we have a lot of options. We have torrents, netboots. We don't need any of this. We'll just get directly to the server list, and in here just download whichever, go into the server, whichever is nearest to you. So if you don't have a server directly listed on here, which is really unlikely, but if it doesn't show up in here, just get into one, just anyone. Let's go to Canada, for example. So, and then just click on the first one that is available. This is the latest version which is available. Just click on this, download the ISO, and I do have it downloaded just to relieve me of my headaches. And there are multiple ways we can make it bootable. There is Rufus, which is good if you're on Windows. So if you are making this bootable onto Windows, Rufus is probably the best option out there. But we also have Balena Etcher, which works both on Windows and on Linux. So it's a much better option if you want to do it this way. So to go through Balena Etcher, I'll show you this way in case some of you are watching from Linux. We have this, as you see, it says Etcher for Windows, Etcher for Mac OS, Etcher for Linux. So this supports every platform out there. So for this, I'll just download it into Windows, and just as you see, I have Rufus downloaded, but never mind. And it should download really quickly. So this is basically all we need to kind of get into this installing Hyprland on Linux. So here's my file. So this is my ISO. I don't know why this is bloody, but anyway, this is our Rufus, and this will be our Balena Etcher if we give it a minute, literally. And there we go. It is downloaded. Now when it's downloaded, just double click on it, just install it like any other application, and as you can see, it just pops up. And in here you can see there are a bunch of options. We can literally flash from URL, so you can just put in the ISO URL in here and it will just clone that onto there. We can clone drive. We don't need any of this. Just go to flash from file, download, select the ISO that you have downloaded, and then open. Then we have to select target, and our target is my pen drive, which I do not have connected. As soon as I connect it, as you can see, it pops up selected, and then hit select, and we just have to do flash and it should be done. Yes. And do keep in mind, it will flash everything onto your flash drive, pen drive. So if you have anything important on there, make sure to keep it somewhere else or copy it over to somewhere where it's safe. And we just have to wait for it to be done. It's really fast. It's at 12 megabytes per second, and it will take about a minute. Hold on. So there you go. That's about it. So that's how you get a bootable USB. And from this point on, you just have to connect it to your PC or laptop, whichever one you are using to install Arch Linux, even in a virtual machine. So whichever one you are doing. So after you have done that, go to the boot menu and then just boot into your USB, and you should see a window like this. So let's just close out of this, and we can move on to the next steps. After we have booted into the bootable USB, let me just make this bigger for you. So we should see a window like this. We'll make it bigger so it's easier to see. And there we go. Now we can actually see things. And after we're in here, we'll just do Arch install. This is probably the easiest way you can install Arch, and it's a bit thin, so I'll make it a bit bold. There we go. Our first thing is ping archlinux.org or any website that you know of, so we can be sure, okay, internet is connected. Now make sure your internet is connected. I am doing this on a desktop, so I have an Ethernet cable. Even if you're on a laptop, make sure you have an Ethernet cable connected, so it makes everything a bit easier. But I'll put the commands for Wi-Fi on the screen. So, and in here it's really easy. First select the mirror regions, and in here you can press space to select an option. So as you can see, if I press space, it selects an option that I need. And also make sure to have multiple mirrors, so in case one of them goes down or something happens, you can use other mirrors as well. And partitioning, again, easy. Just partition it on the drive you want to partition, go back, and then disk encryption we don't need. And for SOP, it's enabled, it's fine. We have unified kernel, I don't know what it does. Hostname, we can change it later. We can do the root password. So there you go. Then we have user accounts. Make sure to create one because you will need one. Then it's really simple. Then after that is done, we can exit out of it. And yeah, obviously I fat finger it and just forget to confirm and exit. There you go, we have confirm and exit. Then in profile, go to type, desktop, and in here you can find Hyprland on here, and you can see it will install everything that is needed. And we'll go with Polkit. This is for your preferrals, at least keyboards and stuff. And then as for drivers, there are a bunch of options. So if you're using NVIDIA, you can do that. If you're using AMD, you can also do that, or you can just go open source, which will cover everything. Then we have creators, SDDM, audio, pipewire, kernels. You can have multiple, but for now I'll just go with Linux. It's fine. Then we have network configuration. I'll just copy it from my ISO. I won't configure it or anything. Then we have time zones. Again, you can use / by the way to search in here. So if you are in a region, so the first part will be the region you're in, the second part is where you want the time zone to be. Then the rest of the things can be left alone, but I forgot about additional packages. So at this point you can press ESC to install your system, but in case you forgot, additional packages will allow you to have multiple packages after the installation. So now I'll just have these two, make sure they're separated, then hit install, and we should be done. That's about it. Now in case if you have an issue, here's how to fix it. So I'm doing this in a virtual machine, and in a virtual machine this is the error that I get where it gets stuck on this point. I don't know why it does it, but it does get stuck. So I was stuck here, and to get out of this, in case again if you are stuck here, just press Ctrl C, which will terminate anything that's going on in the terminal. And don't worry, it doesn't make any changes. If you're stuck at that point, it doesn't do anything. Now if I do arg install -h, there is an option here which says -- offline. Now what this does, it disables that checkup, or that internet checks it does before it starts installing. And what I found after a lot of time, I don't want to admit it, but that it takes time when it's installing or checking for that specific thing. Now the downside of offline is the mirrors. You won't get all the mirrors, but mirrors can be added after you have done your install. So again, if you have this issue, we can do offline. So here's how to do it. So after, just add offline after the arg install, and it will be a bit different. Not all of it. When you go to mirror, as you can see, it says only local, but you can see that there is basically every mirror you could need for every region, which is locally available. Then as for disk, again the same thing, just partition it, the disk you want, and then bootloader will be grub, and then root password. So the whole installation process is almost the same, and don't worry, it will not not install. So it won't be no, you can't install anything. Offline basically means it won't do any checks. So if you just specify a package, it will just install it. It won't check for it if it's malicious, if it's downloadable or not, but it will just install it. So you'll see in a bit that it does work. When you are installing, it will download the Linux kernel, it will download every package it needs without having any issue whatsoever. So network configuration, again, I'll copy it from ISO, additional packages, Firefox and NeoVim, obviously. You can also add any packages you want. So if you have any preferences, anything you would like to add, you can add it. And as you can see, when I did that, it didn't do any check. It just took it. Then the same thing for time zones, do the same, and then hit install. Now, when we're doing it like this, as you can see, it will install perfectly. It won't even tell you that something's wrong. But you may seem that in this point, it will take a bit of time. It may seem like it is stuck, but wait for it and it will just get out of it soon. Okay, as you can see, it did start installing and it didn't take that long. But in the previous one, where I got stuck, it was taking a while, a lot of time before it could be installed and it did anything. Now, this will basically depend on how fast your internet connection is. It does 5 at a time. So if you have 5 gigabits second, it will take 1 gig for everything. Anyway, as fast as your internet is, this will install that specifically fast. And if you have a faster system with SSDs and stuff, it will do a lot faster. Now we'll fast forward this part right here. Then we can continue on the system. And that's about it. That's the setup process done. And in here, we can go to the chroot or chroot, however you like to say it. But I won't do that. I'll just reboot the system. What the heck did I type right there? Anyway, we'll just reboot the system and just do reboot now. Don't just do reboot. and then it will reboot it and we should be in our Hyprland system. Now make sure to unplug your USB when you do this, just so you don't have to deal with that. So there we go. It should now boot into Hyprland. Now this was a video about installing Hyprland onto your system, the fastest way to install it. And for configuring, there are other videos and I am thinking of making one myself. So make sure to check out my Hyprland series or this playlist right here to find me doing weird things in Hyprland or doing normal things in Hyprland. And I accidentally pressed Windows Q, which is my keybind for quitting out of things, and I am also using Hyprland, by the way. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next one. If you do find this video helpful, subscribe to the channel and also leave a like. It helps out a ton, and also comment down below what dot files you're using. Bye!